Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie.
It's day 5.
Look at these beautiful bottles.
Grumble, 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 grumble.
Lucky you, it's Advent Tournament Day 5, and each day you get to open that little door of your little Advent calendar, and behind it, it's us.
Oh boy.
Aren't you lucky?
Probably not.
Well, a couple of crazy matchups today. We are going to start with, and I'm going to read this because there's a lot of words. Four Roses Single Barrel Strength Bourbon. This is the Oregon pick from last year, bottled October 2020, aged 9 years, 6 months, 118.8 proof. On the other side of the coin here, we've got Willett Pot Still Reserve. This is a bourbon that's 94 proof, aged approximately 8 to 10 years, we think, from the Willett Distillery, like we said. $48 for this one. By the way, the Four Roses sells for $80.
You know how I'm a sucker for a good bottle. I don't really care what it tastes like. She's a beaut. And that stamping on the front of Four Roses, gorgeous.
These are good looking bottles. So this is going to be a weird matchup. Stay tuned because the second one might be even weirder. So let's get started here. Let's go to the nose on glass 1. I don't really want to put this off anymore. I am ready for these two. I have no idea what that is.
Do you know what's really funny?
Holy cow.
It's because we did a Willett product yesterday.
Yeah.
I picked up glass 1, I was like, oh, that's totally a Willett nose. And then I smelled glass 2 and I was like, that's totally a Willett nose. So learned a lot yesterday apparently.
I disagree with your glass 2 assessment, but let's go have a taste. I think glass 1.
Oh, you're right.
Glass 1's got that lemony citrus, a ton of it.
It does. I took a healthy sip there.
Did you?
Ooh.
Now that I like. This is a ton of vanilla. It has a little bit of that grassiness from yesterday. Has a lot of lemon on the nose, but it settles in on the palate and you just get a wash of lovely vanilla and almost like a vanilla buttercream sweetness, a little bit of oak there coming through, but it's not really presenting as char or chocolate or anything like that. It's legitimate oak, wood, sweet oak. I like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Deep thoughts with Julie. All right, on to glass number 2.
It's a little sweeter, it's a little sugarier. Vanilla, the caramels come through in there.
I thought this was going to be spicy. It's really pleasant.
It has a little bit of bitterness to it.
I hate to say it, but this is a pretty obvious matchup. You know, you're talking about 94 proof versus 118.8 proof.
Yeah.
The age is roughly the same, 9.5 and 8 to 10. So if you're finding a commonality here, it's the age, and that's pretty much where it ends.
I don't think the proof's gonna actually matter. It's more about what the drink says to me.
It's absolutely personal preference, and I have to be honest, I just went to the nose on glass number 1. It is effervescent. It is bright. It is friendly and lovely. And I closed my eyes for just a split second and said, won't you have a sip of me? And I was like, yeah, I will.
Perfect. The nose on glass number 1, I'm unsure about it. I know you just talked about the effervescence and
I actually think that the nose on glass number 1 is one of the better noses in this tournament so far.
Oh, it's a little musty to me.
I think that's what I like about it.
Oh, which is, I feel like we've just switched positions because normally I love like anything that's a little earthy, a little musty, a little kind of down and dirty.
That's what attracted you to me first.
Basically.
Yeah.
I did drink glass number 1 right now. Do I like that flavor or am I like wishing it wasn't that flavor?
For me, this one's gonna come down to the back of the palate. These are super different, totally different, unique experiences. And I say this every day because it's not because I'm a magnanimous guy. I legitimately am enjoying both of these whiskeys so much.
Yeah.
I want to stop drinking them because they're so different. This is not a session that I'm enjoying.
Oh.
Sometimes you have like 3 or 4 different whiskeys in a row and it takes you someplace and you enjoy the ride. I'm not enjoying this ride and I want off. And so what I'm gonna do is make my decision based on what is actually giving me the most satisfaction in the moment. And this one ultimately for me, I just realized is not even close.
Oh,
are you ready for me to share? Or do
I don't know because
I don't want to influence you, so go ahead and do your thing and then we'll get to it.
Because I would never influence you in making a logical decision, but you would definitely influence me in making a logical decision.
People have called me an influencer. I
Gross.
hate it. I hate it.
Gross.
I hate it.
So there's something about the flavors on glass number 2 that I'm really enjoying, but there is a bit of bite, a little bitterness there that I don't like. But the tea aspect, which of course we ran into yesterday, it is something that I enjoy, but I'm not sure I enjoy in this specific medium. That's where I'm struggling right now.
Yeah, this is an extra medium challenge.
It is an extra medium challenge. Oh, crap. I'm going to actually go with glass 2. I don't find it as easy to drink. More bourbon flavors in there. There is that little bit of bitterness that is throwing me a little bit, which last year I think would have eliminated it from the competition. The tea in glass number 1, not my favorite for this sip, so that is why I'm moving glass number 2 forward.
That is fair. And for me, it just comes down to the full experience for me.
Yeah.
I think this is surprising me because I really expected that Willett pot still to go somewhere, but I'm quite confident that I've just chosen the Four Roses. I think that's the end of Willett in this tournament.
Oh my gosh, I thought when we were talking earlier.
And by the way, I'm guessing that it's the Four Roses. If it's not, there's something wrong with my barometer for proof.
But when we were just going through tasting notes and the whole conversation that you guys have just witnessed, I was almost like 99% sure you're going forward with glass number 1.
I've got glass A. Ooh,
I have also glass A.
that is a narrow A.
Don't worry about that. Glass A, Four Roses.
Of course it is, yeah. I do want to say this. This Willett bottle has been beaten up and pushed around a lot online lately because people are saying, oh, it's a new recipe, it's not what it once was, whatever it might be. Try that bottle blind. I still think that's a really, really good bourbon, and it ran up against a juggernaut. That Four Roses is fantastic.
Matchup number 2, next. This next matchup, I think it's going to be a weird one.
I guarantee it's going to be a weird one. Are you serious with this cork? Okay, hang on a second.
Oh, I see now.
Right
I see. Shh.
Half you think I'm crazy, but I care about my cork.
My attention to detail only is 1,000% with work-related things. With this
or when you're judging me for something.
Probably.
Okay. All right, let's get right to this matchup. We're not going to keep you waiting. This is the pride of Oregon right here, bourbon-wise. This is Oregon Spirit, bottled in Bond Bourbon.
Nerdy. I just did a little thing.
I think you look great. I love it, and we're keeping it. Single barrel, 100 proof, 4 years aged, $75. And it's a 4 grain, so every time we've returned to it, it's been a little bit of a changeling. That sometimes happens with those 4 grains.
Yes, I agree.
And on the other side of the coin, a Jim Beam bottle. This is 120 proof Knob Creek Single Barrel Reserve 9-year aged bourbon from Jim Beam. Only $55. We both love Knob Creek. We both love Oregon Spirit, but both of these bottles, not our favorite expressions. All right, I don't know about you, but I'm ready, and I am going for the nose on glass number 1.
Ooh, I like the nose on glass number 1.
Goodness, sugary.
Wow, they're crazy different.
What the heck?
It is like salted caramel. No,
Yes.
glass number 1 is
Yes.
salted caramel.
What? I was thinking that on glass number 2. Huh, there is a salted caramel on the right side. You're right.
Glass number 2 to me smells like some sort of, not a black licorice or a red licorice, but an off licorice, if that makes sense.
Have you had those brown licorices, like the chocolate licorice?
I have not.
Really?
No, but
That's what it smells like. You're right.
like, it's not your traditional. Is there a cat behind me?
There's a cat behind you.
Cheers.
Yeah, I don't know what this. I honestly, these are 20 proof points differential, 5 years age differential. I couldn't tell you off the nose what I'm smelling. I can tell you now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There's a little bit of proof to this one.
Astringent proof. I honestly didn't get much on the palate because so much heat came through. The finish is great though. Caramel, vanilla, oak, bourbon flavors. Astringent to the point of discomfort on the palate. If you have one of these bottles and you're going, that doesn't sound like my bottle at all, there's a good reason for that.
Yeah.
These single barrels, there's a variance and anything can happen with them.
So this glass number 2 nose, before I take a sip, does smell very farmy to me.
I was
like
just gonna say that.
farmhousey.
Yeah. This is the 3rd out of the last 4 matchups that we've had some grassiness.
I will say this is the one matchup I was kind of dreading.
Same.
on glass number 2, I'm almost getting a little bit of a, this sounds so strange, but remember when you were a kid and you had like stamps?
What kind of stamp? Like a rubber stamp?
No, it was just like there was like a black pad and you might have had like a stamp that whatever and you would just stamp things.
I think that's a rubber stamp.
Yeah, so like a rubber stamp.
Sure.
I'm getting a taste that's like that smell.
This is a similar flavor that I get on some High West stuff, the black marker, the shoe polish, that sort of thing. I've not always liked it, depending on what whiskey it's on. I don't dislike it here.
I'm a little flummoxed by it. Am I allowed to say that?
Flummox is a great word. Look at you. I love it. I honestly am not blown out of the water by either one of these. And actually, one of them, I would say that I actively kind of dislike.
I am torn.
I will say this, one of these just gave me coffee, tobacco, and leather. That combination works for me.
I love
And
it.
having that combination, even though it's not the most perfect combination, means that I've got a winner.
So I thought this would happen in at least round 2, but I'm already at that point where my glasses are desperately low, and I'm gonna need to sample yours over there.
For the virtue of the tournament, by all means, take what you need.
I am gonna go with glass number 2, and that's gonna move forward for me.
Same thing.
Oh,
All right, let's find out what this is. This is glass letter A, that narrow A.
yep, mine too. The Oregon Spirit, which is kind of a surprise, and I know there's a lot of Knob Creek fans out there, and we have some Knob Creek on the shelf that is amazing. It
Yeah,
just didn't, this one didn't make the cut.
We're Jim Beam fans. Honestly, these are all single barrels. This one here is a troublemaker. It has been all year. We've heard a lot of pushback on us saying that we're dead wrong on this one.
Yeah.
This is one that I chose to be in this tournament because I wanted to see if maybe it was just something mental for me that I just needed to taste it blind. That's not what it was at all.
Yeah.
I legitimately think that this barrel is not the greatest one, and it's unfortunate because we do like Knob Creek, we do like Jim Beam, and this is just a no-go for us. So Oregon Spirit moving on to the next round, our hometown distiller. I don't have a good feeling about it going up against that Four Roses barrel strength.
Oh yeah.
We'll see how that goes. Cheers, and thank you for watching. Tomorrow we are back, day 6, with 2 more crazy matchups. The first round continues, and we hope that your bracket isn't busted just yet. And what else?
From wherever we are.
To wherever you are.
Cheers.